When should guys, what are some timelines guys need to have? Money saved up, women versus money, etc.
So we'll almost play it like a video game. When you're a freshman in high school, you're at 0 and 0. So money and women, you don't have game, and you don't really have any money. Now, as you maybe you develop some ability with women as you go through high school, but maybe not a lot of money unless you have a job. The problem that happens, and this is something that I witnessed because after the game came out in 2005, I used to work with Mystery. I used to go out with RSD all the time and see these guys who were interns, and all they cared about was women. They were sleeping on couches. All they cared about was women. They sometimes didn't shower. It was just women, women, women. I live here and I meet bartenders who have nothing but debt, or male strippers, and these guys are like what you said, very Chad. Yeah. And they're extremely good with women, but they're fucking terrible with money. Right. And I have women come on the show all the time because the women here make more money than the men in Vegas because the pool jobs give you like $240 a year.
Talk about it.
And so what happens is you end up with these men who like don't focus on their money at all. They end up spending 7-8 years as a VIP host making less than $60,000 a year. Okay?
Damn.
So that's the thing. Jeez. So now what happens is what you should do is money should get to at least to a level 3. If you want to wait till it's a level 5, let's say 10 is like the top 1% of wage earners with about $500,000 a year. So get up to a 3 or get up to a 5. And then here's the thing: what you don't want is
can you tell us what those numbers at 3 and 3 is?
3. So I would say
roughly?
3 would be having 150,000. That would be
annual.
Annual. That would be cool. But see, the thing is, I don't want to say don't start talking to women before 150.
Okay.
Maybe there's a book called The Happiness Hypothesis. They postulate about $74,000 is where people can be happy. But I think that number with inflation, because that book was written by Jonathan.
Yeah, that number is 10 years ago. So you're like 90,000.
Yeah, 90,000. So that's probably right. There's a fantastic book. Jonathan Haidt's an incredible author. So when you go through those numbers, that's probably, we'll call that a 2. Start at a 2, and then at that point, you need to know something, because what happens is you end up becoming like some of the pilots and the doctors and the real estate developers that end up joining my course, who got married very early, made millions of dollars, and don't know fuck all about women.
Yeah.
And they are getting stumped.
That's also a dangerous place to be.
Correct. So what you don't want, so you want money to get to a 3, and then let's go ahead and start bringing girls up to a certain level. But what you don't want is money to get to a 10, and you don't know anything. I have several clients, like, not to be stereotypical, a lot of my Indian clients are like this, very, very wealthy, very successful, and then the
guys Marquette went to school with.
their view, a lot of my German clients are like this. Their views are very, very narrow when it comes to women, and because of that, they're just extremely distrusting, or their views are very binary. And then while it's fine to be super skeptical, you're not good with women when you're super skeptical, right? So there needs to be a growth, like you said, on both places. So I need to be growing in both areas at the same time. But you don't want one to go so far in front of the other that you can't get the other one. Here's the other one. The other point I want to make. We're talking about social media, and we're talking about having a brand. When you have a brand and you are successful on your brand, you need to spend less time attracting women. This is the part. This is the part where the cold approach versus social circle, where they got this wrong. Social circle takes less time than cold approach. When you have a brand and people know who you are, and you're constantly creating a funnel. You guys just interviewed Dan Bilzerian. When you guys are constantly creating,
talked about
setup,
this extensively.
Exactly. Yeah. Dan Bilzerian spends less time attracting women and gets more women because he used social media to scale. So you use social media to scale your business, and you use social media to scale your ability to attract women. And then also the pre-selection comes in, right? But by the way, pre-selection works both ways. My friend Steve Demopoulos, one of the top attorneys in the city, he's got billboards all over the city.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about. So he's got billboards all over the city, billions collected. So that's pre-selection, but for an attorney. But now you can also have pre-selection for men. How do you show that scalability? Remember what I said before. Social media did not help men meet women. It helped a small group of men meet all the women. So instead of complaining about it, like a lot of incels those guys do, let's join that top 20% of men. And how are we going to do that? We're going to work on our fitness, we're going to work on our money, and we're going to work on our game. All 3 of those things, but we don't want one to get so far where we're a bodybuilder who's broke, and we don't want to become the guy who's incredibly good with women, but we're sleeping on a couch, and we don't want to become the fat, rich guy. We don't want to become any one of those 3 tropes. Yeah. We want to be like on Madden. We want a 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 99 awareness, 99 agility, 99 change of direction. We want all these attributes to go up and level up together, and that takes time. For men, we have to earn our value, and sometimes, again, if you guys read eHarmony's book, or I'm sorry, the book Dataclysm, or the CTO of eHarmony, for women, their primary age is 23 to 25, but for men, it is 38 to 44. That's when we've baked in we've learned all of the lessons that we have, and we have some money saved up. And going back to what you said before, we also have a skill set that we've learned to where if you took all my money away today, I know I could go into high ticket sales, and I know I could teach people how to build build sales funnels, and I know I could teach people how to create sales coaching programs. I know those 3 things I could do right now. If you took away all my money and all my clients right now, I know I could do those things. And I could probably do Facebook ads pretty well too. So those skill sets that you learn, and sometimes you have to work for some to do that. Sometimes you actually do have to have a job, and you learn those skill sets. Like agents, where do they start? At William Morris and CAA, they always start in the mail room, right? Sometimes you have to take that beating in the beginning as an internship to learn a skill set. Like again, every one of his guys, I promise you, Justin knows at least the basics on carpentry, electrics, laying pipe, all this kind of stuff, all for building those steel buildings
too.
Exactly. laying pipe is all of our specialty apparently. And so when it comes to that, you have a specialty, and like Justin says, now you have become useful to other men. So now that I'm useful to other men, that's almost as important as the wealth itself. If you gave me a choice where I have a job where if I work harder, I make more money, or if you give me $10 million, I'm going to take the job where I own it, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I own 100% of this company. And I know if I work harder, I make more money. Sales is a great example of something like this. I would rather have that than $10 million. And most people don't think that way. The $10 million does not come with a skill set. It comes with inflation. But the skill set beats inflation, and it allows you to be able to make money in any environment.
Bam.
And I find one thing I wanted to add was I find people that basically they focus so much on a dollar amount. Like if I have this, I'm going to be safe or whatever. Like you said, you'll never be safe. But those people are, in my opinion, are just lazy because they think if I get to this place, then I can stop.
Yeah.
Right. And like we're saying here, right? And like Marquette said very nicely, right? It's just something that we should not stop. We have to keep moving.
And you made some really fantastic points that I even want to add to, because you were talking about how when you have this social proof from your business, etc., and the social circle does the work for you, for example, if you have money, right, and you invest that money, it makes you more money, right? You invest in real estate, makes you passive income, etc. When you have girls through pre-selection, guess what? You get more girls, right?
Yes.
I've always said bitches equals more bitches, right? The passive income bitches. And then another thing I want to say is that, and then the other thing I want to say also, that you made a great point where you said you want 99 speed, agility, etc. Well, you basically need a game shark in life, and that game shark, gentlemen, is consistency, time, and discipline.